All right, we're ready to get started. John, you ready to get started?
Let's do this.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bolts and Bites on Thursday. This is a live stream production brought to you by Pantheon's developer advocacy team. On this series, we like to share what's new in open source communities, as well as updates of stuff that we're working on at Pantheon.
We're also going to chat about events, developer tools, and spotlight our community. And at the end of the show, we'll share a collection of links to all the different things we've discussed. Sometimes we also have giveaways, so hang around with us every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific if you want to be a part of those.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Today's episode is called A Confluence of Events, because that's basically the next few weeks.
Yes, it is. And our intros, if you don't know yet, I am John.
Welcome back to the show, John.
Thank you.
And I'm Fatima, and we're on the dev advocacy team at Pantheon. We're also hiring both a director and a developer advocate. So if you want to come work on us on our team, you should totally check out pantheon.io/jobs. First up on the schedule is there are so many events this week.
And they're all already happening. So if you haven't jumped in, you've already missed some great content, but you should definitely check them out. So one of the events happening this week is WooSesh, a virtual conference for Woocommerce done by WP Sessions, and worth checking out. I caught a few different events that they've had, a few different sessions, super interesting, some hack tips on how to basically improve your shopping cart experience. One of the talks was about all the complexity in taxes and how crazy that is. My favorite line, the speaker was talking about, like, depending on the flour content inside of an item, it can be listed as a candy or a food. And so, like, it's really complex. Don't do that. Have somebody else help you with that so you don't mess things up.
That's really fascinating. There's a similar form if you're trying to mail something from the US to Canada, and you have to go through this really antiquated drop down about, like, is this a chocolate that has more milk content than cacao? Because if, like, those are two different types of items that you can export.
Yes. So, I didn't realize that was something you had to be aware of. So if you are selling those kinds of things, the sessions are recorded, so you should check them out if you missed some. And I believe it's the last day for sessions, maybe some Friday too. Go check out the schedule.
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule now. It looks like they're wrapping up this afternoon, but registration is free, right?
Yes.
And they have 2 days of workshops tomorrow and Friday. There you go. Introduction to Woocommerce, 10 secrets for setting up your store like a pro. So there's a lot of stuff happening tomorrow and Friday that's a little bit more in depth and a couple of hours long. It says 1 to 2 hours of instruction, activities, and discussion breaks.
Yay. Check it out.
That sounds really cool. Another event that's going on the other side of the community is Drupal GovCon. GovCon is an annual conference of people from the developer community, from the government developer community in Drupal. It's also free, and it's happening right now in Hopin. They have a really cool schedule. It runs from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it's like Pacific time, and then Eastern time, it's 3 hours offset, but it's really cool because it's not a full day. It's just kind of core working hours kind of conference.
Yeah, if you're part of that community at all, you should definitely check it out. I was able to attend some sessions last year, and they were really good. So take a look.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to attend sessions because I had an internet outage this morning. It's really sad, but I have seen a lot of Twitter. So my Twitter feed is just popping because there was a session this morning about the future of the United States web design system. It's been around for like 6 years, and there's a core team, and they're going beyond 2.0, and they're releasing a new system. And there's so much excitement that I'm seeing in my social channels about that. So highly recommend tuning in for GovCon. Probably is it going to be over by the time? No, there will be lightning talks on Thursday afternoon, including a keynote on hacking bureaucracy with human-centered design. So if you work in government and you have to figure out how to design for your users, that's probably a really great keynote with Ann Lewis to check out.
Absolutely. Great advice there. I heard there's also going to be a really cool game night at this event.
I feel like we're starting to get known in the community for doing games, John, because GovCon reached out and was like, can you run a game night? And I was like, absolutely, yes. I have all these Jackbox games that I need to put into use. Also, the more events that reach out for game nights, the more likely I can get the new Jackbox party pack. I'm still debating.
Yes, we'll definitely be there. We need more
Jackbox party packs. So later this afternoon from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, that's 4 p.m. Pacific to 7 p.m. Pacific. No, 4 to 6 p.m. Yeah, I'll see you there. It'll be really fun. It'll happen on Hopin, so you have to make sure that you register for GovCon first, and then I'll see you on the platform.
Awesome. That will be great. Check it out if you can. Up next, we're going to talk a little bit with our tech showcase, and it's doubling up as a Pantheon showcase this week. If you haven't seen, there was kind of a cool announcement in Slack about a new feature called, what is this called? The
audio and video clips.
Yeah, or audio clips. So I'm going to jump over here and see if I can share my screen for a second.
Yeah, it looks like you can record up to 3-minute long clips on desktop or mobile, or share your screen while recording clips, which I think will be a great QuickTime replacement. It's been really funny. I've seen a lot of memes already where people are showing how Slack's kind of pushing this feature out to everybody with a little pop-up.
Yeah, it was a little heavy-handed maybe, but it got me to at least check it out. And I'm like, oh, hey, this could be very handy, especially if you're doing like support things or need to show somebody, hey, we often have the, hey, it works on my screen, help me out. So I
don't know if it'll be a good thing then.
All right, so you click in here and then it's going to ask you to share your screen so that it can start recording. Let's see, I want to share this one because I will hit record, and then I'm going to move that over here, and then hopefully it's recording our screen right now. So you're going to get an example of how we do backups here, because I have to prep some backups for an event coming up. The first thing is it's asking me to make sure I'm in the right mode. So we're going to go over here and switch over into Git mode. If you ever need to back up your website, you do need to be in Git mode to do that.
Part of that is your 2-minute Pantheon tutorial.
Hopefully you've not had to do this too often. For us, because this is a demo site, we're using backups as specific start states so we can restore them. So then the next time the person comes in, all the content and stuff is where it's at. They can kind of work through it. So if you do any kind of like educational material things, this can be a handy way to do that. So I come in here to our last backup at the proper space. I'm going to hit restore, make sure I'm not doing anything terrible here.
Did you just copy me? I feel like the fact that we can just paste it in defeats the purpose of typing it out, but maybe that's just a web pattern that doesn't make sense anymore.
At least it's the ones that are like write in restore. The worst is when they're like write in the name of so long, and I'm like, no, I mean to do this.
I feel that pain.
All right, so it's going to begin restoring files here in dev. I'm doing the full restore. So you code, database, and files here. The code, actually, the reason we need to be in Git mode is it's a little bit smarter. It's not just restoring the code, it's restoring it to that spot where it was in Git at that time. All right, so hopefully this worked. We'll jump back here. I guess I can open the site. All right.
Yeah, one time I deleted an import and deleted all the users on a client site, and I sneakily went to the Pantheon dashboard and I restored to that the 2 hours ago backup, and nobody noticed.
After your restore, you should definitely hit clear cache, because as you'll see, mine got a little funky here.
Yeah, it looks like the theme didn't clear.
Oh,
Yay!
There we go. And you'll see down here, we actually have the Slack interface still here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit stop on this.
You almost hit 3 minutes on that.
Oof. So it starts playing right away. And then this will actually generate a movie clip that you can then send to someone. They can click on it and watch it and follow along with all the actions that you did. So hopefully that gives you an overview of the Slack video clip feature. Maybe you'll find an option to use it. Handy for showing tutorials to people. All right, that's my tech demo for today.
Thanks, John, for sharing that. Next up, we've got some patch notes from WordPress. John and I discovered while putting together the show notes that last week there was a sneak peek. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. A sneak peek into the new 2022 WordPress theme that will ship with WordPress 5.9. I just really think it's beautiful, and it supports a lot of the new user customizations and the kind of support that's coming with 5.9.
I love it. I love the look of this. It's looking really beautiful. The bird theme is wonderful. Spoiler, we're going to talk about a couple games later, and this makes me think of Wingspan.
Oh, yes.
This looks beautiful. So I'm excited. It's going to be block first with Gutenberg. So really great job to the designers that worked on this. And if you want to follow it, you can want more information on it, follow the WordPress.org blog, and they'll keep you updated.
Yeah, there's also a GitHub link that we'll share with you. All of the theme development is happening on GitHub. So if you're interested in contributing to 2022, make sure that you're taking a look at that and putting your resources in there. This week for celebrations, John and I thought we'd do something a little different and celebrate the fact that we're finally going out to an event. I can hardly believe it. Next week, we're going to be in Raleigh. Is that how you say it? Raleigh, North Carolina? We're going to be attending All Things Open, which is a conference about all things open source.
I can tell you by the end of next week, we will know how to pronounce it correctly because anybody will correct us if they hear. So.
I think I said Durham Airport, and my trainer was like, "It's Durham," and I was like, "Thank you so much. I will not look like a silly person at the airport." Where's your flight going to? Durham Airport. It's a hybrid event, so it's free to attend online if you want to check it out. I think it's really great. There's so many really cool talks happening. There's a diversity and inclusion summit on Sunday that I'll be attending that I am particularly excited about as well.
Yeah, the schedule has a whole lot of things going on. There's a wonderful online-only community track. So if you're interested in community talks, there's a bunch of things on there. But each day, the biggest challenge is going to be on the schedule. Like each hour has like 10 tracks, and so figuring out which one you want to go see. We're already planning a strategy to divide and conquer and get as many as we can.
Yeah, I think there's like 7 talks per hour, and it's gonna be interesting balancing that between, oh my god, I'm finally in person, so there's a lot of like stimulation happening, and then oh my god, I want to go to all of these talks. I also really need a nap, and so I'm really curious to see what the show will be next week when we're like, wow, we're so tired, but we're so inspired.
Yes, we'll probably be bringing you part 2 of an airplane run for the airport. So hopefully while we're together in person, we can do a show together. So
I'm looking forward to 2 talks that are called Open Source Contribution Policies That Don't Suck and Architecting Your App for Chaos, which is about building resilient applications from the head start without over-engineering things too much. So those are 2 that have caught my eye, but I'm going to continue to look at the schedule. They're also sending some really great emails. And so I'll probably do a lot of that on Friday.
Yes.
And then go ahead.
Oh no, I was just segueing to the next thing. So
for our casual segment, which seems to be our most popular segment on the show, I thought we'd talk a little bit more about games. I feel like when John and I are together, we don't really talk about anything else. I've been playing 2 very different games. One is really, really creepy. And possibly political. And then one is like really cute, but also creepy in a different way. So maybe I just have a theme going. So John, the first game that I've been playing a lot is called Not for Broadcast. And I meant to mention it at last week's show because Steve like made me think of it, but it's a show where you control the broadcasting media service for a country, or maybe it's a world. I can't really tell. It's very vague. And you can like edit people out and decide which screens to display and which advertisements to play during those segments. And sometimes the advertisements that you select change the course of history for that world. So it's like great power, great response. That like really strange people come on the show. Like, and there seems to be something weird going on with organizations and money. Like suddenly I'm part of this like capitalist organization, and suddenly I have their advertisements and I can choose to play them or not. And if I play them, they'll make money, which means I'll make money. And so there's layers of stuff going on in this show that they're deeply provocative and thoughtful.
What a great way to tackle that concept. Like that's a really fun idea, like engaging way with understanding how you can change things by what you promote versus what you don't.
Yeah, they do a lot of satire on politicians and things like that as well. I think one of my friends described it as similar to Papers, Please, which is a similar political simulator kind of game. A lot of people I've talked to don't like Not for Broadcast, but I think I like it because I have experience in media journalism. So it feels kind of cool to be sitting at the back of the desk. Yeah. The other game is Spiritfarers, which I heard that you know a little bit about as well.
Yes, one of my good friends played this, and he then talked to me as kind of like his therapy buddy, because as you mentioned, it's incredibly cute, but it's also very serious at times.
Yeah, I think they call it like a cozy world building. Is that the phrase that they use in the description? And it's about someone who helps spirits, Stella, who helps spirits move on. So there are people that she knew before she was Spiritfarer, and she's kind of helping them process that their life has come to an end. And I didn't realize that because I don't really read the full description on games. I kind of just get the vibe and then I install them. And then yesterday, one of my first like journey people was moving on, and I was just like in tears. Like it was both beautiful and sad at the same time. And as someone who has been grieving over the past 2 years, like I really like this game, and I think like I will have more thoughts on it as I progress through the story. But I think there's something about it, John, like these characters, they talk to you and they tell you how much they care about you. Like you have an uncle and like a friend. You don't actually say anything back, but the way they respond, it's as if you're having a conversation without having a conversation, you know? And so they almost make the main character so dynamic that you can kind of be Stella and feel like you're there. But maybe I really just take games too seriously.
No, I love it. That's where you start progressing into more art versus just entertainment, I think.
Yes, absolutely. I highly recommend Spiritfarers. Not for Broadcast is not for everyone, but but Spiritfarers, I would pick that up and play it when you're like too tired to think, but you want to enjoy it because the sound effects, the rain, the water, like they're at the ocean, everything's really beautiful. Also the cat, she has a cat. And that cat has a little anchor when it goes in the water. Like that cat is adorable.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I love hearing about those games. What a great casual segment.
Yeah. Well, thank you, John, for coming back for this episode 11. Can you believe 11 of Bolts and Bytes? I think we'll make it quick today and just wrap up. So if you would like to be featured in our celebration segment, please, 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 please join our weekly Working Out Loud threads in the Pantheon forums, or like tweet at us with something that you're celebrating, something you've launched, or maybe you've gotten a new job and you're really excited about the work you're going to do. We would really love to showcase your celebrations on the show.
Absolutely. And you can always reach out to us in our Slack as well, or our community forums. We're going to have all of those links available for you if you're looking for them, responded to either the tweet or they'll be in the YouTube description.
Yeah, if you've enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and leave us a comment if you've played Spiritfarers, or if you're playing another game that's cozy and cute and you'd like to share it. Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We're live every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. And do you want to do the tagline this week, John?
All right. We'll see you around in the community.